Keep
3,
rolling.
2,
2,
1.
1. Blast off.
That was where we both went with rocket. That was good.
Well, what do you think of when you hear something?
3, 2, 1. It could have been anything. 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1. Rocket ship.
No, there's one more. 3, 2, 1. Go.
No,
3, 2, 1,
it's
go.
like 3, 2, 1. Rocket ship.
Yeah, that's what I thought of. Anyway, welcome.
Yeah, welcome, guys.
This is the Attacking Panic Podcast.
Panic Podcast. We don't have an intro song yet. We don't have an opening statement. We're just going at this thing full force because
we're running
a lot of stuff to talk about. But yeah, we're just running. We're running at it, and we are both very excited about this. We are not. We're gonna start out. We are not medical professionals.
Not at all. Not even a little.
Not even a little. We're just like.
If anything,
obviously,
I'm a Google expert.
I'm a Google expert. We're both.
I've Googled a lot.
If you're listening to this and you deal with panic attacks and anxiety, then you're probably a Google expert too.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
But yeah, we're not medical experts, but we do hope that we can help you with this podcast in any way.
Yeah, that's. I think we should get into that real quick. The main point of this podcast for me is like, I love talking to people with anxiety and panic attacks and OCD and all these things because they just make me feel more normal about all the things that I deal with, which is mostly anxiety and mostly, well, not anymore even panic attacks. They're few and far between, but anxiety, generalized anxiety disorder. And you know what? Recently, you know what I think?
What do you think?
I think recently, like, I'm like, I can diagnose, well, obviously, like I said, not a doctor, but like OCD, I have some like serious OCD tendencies myself. I don't like, it's not like clean stuff. Like, I'm not like a clean guy. I know that's like usually the thing people think of.
Yeah.
When they think of OCD, but I have obsessive thoughts where I'm like, that made me, this chicken is going to make me sick.
I think a lot of people who probably deal with pretty severe anxiety or panic disorder probably have some sort of obsessive compulsion disorder that targets the thoughts.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean? Because in order to have pretty severe anxiety, I feel like you need to be pretty obsessive over your thoughts, and
I've definitely been
very that runs pretty before. Hand in hand. Yeah. So.
All right. So that being said,
yeah,
that's the point. What?
Nothing. I was like, we could find ourselves running off track here quite a bit and just going into so much stuff. So we're gonna try to stay on a lane. We're gonna try to stay on a lane. First podcast, we're figuring our shit out, but we're gonna try to stay.
Yeah, So, that's what I want to say is that, this podcast is for the people that deal with anxiety. Obviously, maybe there's some people that don't and will watch us anyway because we're just that freaking good.
We're cool people. We're cool dudes.
Yeah, I mean, that could happen. But, it's for the people who need it and who want it. And I know if I just said this today, I was like, if I had something like this when I was 12 and like panic disorder was new, this would have been like amazing to have.
Yep.
Because I was like, what the hell is happening to me? I thought I was like crazy.
Yeah. And we're just two, what are you, Max? 23?
23.
I'm 22. And so we're just two casual dudes just talking about what we struggle with life. Our weirdness, our weird thoughts, our daily weird thoughts.
Yeah, that's another thing. We should let's clarify what our weirdness is. Quickly explain.
Hold on, Max.
Okay.
How do we meet?
Okay, yeah. True. I've made anxiety videos on YouTube, panic attack videos, and they kind of blew up, which was cool.
Because people, what is one of the first things that people do after they have their first panic attack?
Just fucking
Just
Google it.
Google, YouTube, what is a panic attack, what it looks like.
Yeah, my shit was popping up like first.
Yeah.
Like my video was like what you got when you looked up like panic attack. And
I think that is how we connected. I was looking at our DMs today earlier. I slid in your
really?
DMs in 2018.
Really?
Basically saying, yeah, I think I asked you where you're from, and like I was so down in the dumps with and confused with what I was dealing with, and I think I came across your video like soon after I had my first panic attack, and I reached out, and I think that's how we got connected. So
yeah, I remember it. I mean, I remember at that time there's a lot of people like sliding in the DMs because of that. The video was blowing up, and a lot of people were reaching out and being like, Max, I'm in the same position. You described me to a T. I'm so scared. And like, it was deep in my journey, if you will, with panic attacks. So like, it wasn't anything new to me. So I was able to tell people like, yeah, this is normal. You're not crazy. This is, you have panic attacks. That's what they are. So a lot of people slid in the DMs, and I was able to talk to a good amount of people about it, and hopefully ease some minds, and made a lot of friends through it because a lot of people, it doesn't make you a weirdo. It's a lot of people are completely normal people, and they just have, they react poorly to fear and thoughts that they don't like.
yeah, we're a little weird though, like a little bit.
Oh yeah, we're definitely weird, but we're not like, there's some weirdness. And that's okay, so that's what I was asking you. What is your thing? What why do you have panic attacks? What's the reason, and why what got you here?
I deal with a lot of my panic attack stems from just traveling out of what my mind says is my comfort zone, which is
I just farted.
That's
just in case the mic just in case the mic picked it up. It's okay.
Are we keeping that in the podcast?
Yep,
no?
Keep going.
No, but I just such a serious topic, and
I know I had to just cut in.
No, okay, so yeah, what my mind says is like a radius, and my head is like an hour and a half away from my house. And it's like when I push that and I go outside of my house, or outside of an hour and a half away from my house, it's
You're
like
in the danger zone.
I'm in the danger zone. That's what my mind says, right? I've done it a lot in the past year, and I've been totally fine. But I think my panic disorder and my anxiety, and when it really spikes, is just like when I'm far away from my comfort zone, which is my house, like where I grew up. So obviously things like traveling is like one of the biggest walls in my life. Things like getting on planes. And
we share that one.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of things that it stems from. I know we had talked about how we both grew up with separation anxiety from our parents, right? That's like a pretty big thing in both of our lives, and something we really like connected on.
So I mentioned before to you that like, I'll just quickly go over this because there's gonna be plenty of episodes where I talk about this, but being like 6 years old and being dropped off at school and thinking it was the last time I was ever going to see my mom. And I just saying that now because I think a lot of people are going to relate to that. And I just want to get that out in the first episode. Like, that's not, if you felt that way when you were a child, that's, as did I.
Yep.
But,
and I
also, should we just point out that I got pulled over on the way here? I think we should just get it out in the air. I did. I got pulled over. I got a ticket.
I was waiting for it to get brought up.
I did. I got a ticket.
Max FaceTimed me on his way home.
All right. I think you FaceTimed me though.
I FaceTimed you because I was like, "Where are you? Like, let's
get
this going."
Oh my God, I got to answer because like.
And Max is going like 105 on a 30, right?
No.
No, it wasn't that.
No, bad. I got pulled over, but it's all right. I got a ticket, but the cop was cool. He hooked it up. We're good. I just had to throw that out there.
Anyways, let's get back on. This is
gonna
be
so
just
you're saying
podcast.
your comfort zone. Your comfort zone, you leave that and you get
I don't know how to like I could go into it so much. I don't know how to like
No, I know, but I think that's a good explanation because
I think it stems from separation anxiety.
Because your mom and your dad are probably like safe spots for you.
They're
right?
very safe spots for me. And I think one of the biggest ways that I've been able to conquer that and conquer my panic disorder in general is being able to transfer that trust onto other people. If it's just random people in public or if it's my best friends, but being able to transfer that support onto them and just being like, if I have a panic attack, like I am in good hands, like these people know me. And even if I'm in public, like people aren't going to judge you like they think you are.
Like you think you are.
Like I think I am. Yes.
Yeah.
So
So to sum it up, you're, that leaving that comfort zone. So it's almost a fear of panics, fear of panic attacks.
Yep.
Fear of something going wrong.
That's what panic disorder is at heart, is a fear of panic attacks, correct?
Yeah, I think, for a lot of people it is. For me, it started, well, I will say my fear, the thing that I've lived with my whole life. I mean, I don't remember really a day without it, it started as fear of vomiting, like fear of vomit, period, which is called emetophobia, I believe.
And what does that vomiting do to you? Right?
Well,
like you're going to have a panic attack after you vomit, or you tell yourself you're going to have a panic attack after you vomit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're fearing the vomiting or fearing getting sick because you also know what's behind that getting sick or vomiting.
because it's not even the panic. It's the panic happens because of the fear of vomiting. There's a fear that drives the panic. That's all that a panic disorder is really. It's the way you react to a fear. Okay. And it could be subconscious. It could be something that is like very obviously in your life, or just could be behind the scenes. But for me, it was very obvious, which was anything that had to do with throwing up, like other people throwing up or me throwing up, I was terrified of. So I had this fear of it. I threw up as a kid. It happened often. I never had panic attacks because of it, because I was living the fear, which weirdly enough, like if you're actually living it, you don't really panic in the moment. But I fear the hatred of it because I hated it so much. I hate throwing up so much. I'm so traumatized from it that it scares me to be sick. So I have a fear of being sick, period. Pretty much it does revolve around vomiting and nausea, but I've come a long way. It doesn't scare me nearly as much. There is hope. Yeah. But I think I want to say that because, in this episode, because there's a lot of people that are scared of throwing up, like a lot.
Yeah. That's pretty, it's still pretty new to me. Not new. I'd say that as I've gotten more into just like studying how panic disorder works and stuff, like throwing up is a pretty big trigger that I've heard
for a lot of people. Let me just say something. It takes over. That fear takes over because you can just like make any part of life about that. So like say like the other day you called me and you were eating Chipotle, right?
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Like
it was so good. It was so good.
I'm sure it's fucking amazing, dude. It
yeah,
looks
you're
great,
missing out, dude.
But I can't.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I can't because I look at it and I'm like, that'll make me feel sick or they undercooked the chicken, or like there's something about it that like it's not just Chipotle, it's anything. But I have these parameters for what I will eat because I'm afraid of feeling sick. So it's definitely a constant in my life. It takes over, but I've gotten so much better to the point where, I think about it, but I don't give into the fear as much as I did, if that makes sense.
Where does fearing the panic come in to play?
I think fearing the panic for me at least is
because you still have a hard time traveling, right? So you're still dealing with a lot of the same stuff as I am, which is just panic disorder at heart.
Yeah, those things, fearing like traveling and stuff, I would chalk it up to a fear of losing control, whether that
Yes.
is
Yeah.
being sick. So losing control of my body, which would be being sick,
Yep.
my well-being, how I feel, losing control of that, or losing control, like you're saying, fearing the panic attack. I call that losing control, because it's like, I don't fear panic attacks anymore. I fear like the big ones. Like I fear
Okay.
like the ones that are really scary,
Okay.
Like it's been a while since I've had, I mean,
And
you know the
I would,
difference.
yeah, no, I do. And I would argue that you'll never have a big one.
Yeah, I know that's a good
I would
point,
argue that you never
because
have a big one because you have you have
well,
an
you don't fear it
understanding, you have
anymore.
your toolbox, you don't fear it.
Right.
It's not the same anymore. You
I
understand
agree.
it
I
like,
agree.
and it might be scary to hear me say that. Or it might be it's scary to hear myself say that, because it's like, well, what if I do someday? Right? It's those what ifs are always going to come back.
Dude,
But
what ifs just
it's just
love
like
being bounced around my brain.
it's
Just
yeah,
what ifs all over the place.
my one of the what I went on a what ifs are like one of the biggest things that's gonna one of the biggest
I heard,
problems we
well,
have.
if we're talking about it, I heard this is kind of on topic. I was listening to a podcast about anxiety, and they were talking about intrusive thoughts, and like
Yes.
those like, it depends what you call an intrusive thought. I think the definition would be like an unwanted thought that just barges in, and like most people have them but don't react, and I think people that are anxious react to them, and
Yep.
like you get that pit in your stomach. So like
Your reaction to those thoughts are where I think people
the problem
differ.
starts.
Yeah, that's where people differ, is how you react to those thoughts.
It's the same way with the panic attack. If you react to the
To the
panic attack,
panic
it's
attack.
gonna get worse. But if you just
Yeah.
go, oh, this is a panic attack,
Ride the
I'm accepting
wave.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, then it gets better. But yeah, the intrusive thought thing, that's like, have you ever like walked on a bridge and been like, I'm gonna jump off this bridge?
Yeah, dude. And I mean like,
Yeah, dude.
yeah, dude. It's just like, it's like you're standing on the edge of a cliff and you're like, well, what if I
Yeah.
just jump off right now? Like
Like,
those are
what
thoughts
if?
that
Yeah,
everyone
like,
has.
yeah, but
Yeah.
you don't want to jump off. Why would you
No, you
ever
don't
want
want
to
to
do
jump
that?
off, but you're sitting there, or if like, yeah, like you're sitting on a bridge and you're holding onto a railing or something, and you're thinking
Yeah.
like, what if I just let go? You know what I
What
mean?
if I just let go and just fucking plummet?
Those are just normal thoughts, though. Those are thoughts
Yeah,
that
no, I
like
agree, but
so
the
many
way
people
that
have.
but a lot of people don't feel the way that you feel about them. Like a lot of people, those thoughts really scare them. And I
Mhm.
think it's important to tell people, because I've felt amazing when people have told me like, "Oh yeah, every single person has these like
That's
absurd thoughts,
yeah,
but it's how you react to them." So when I think those thoughts, I might go, "Oh my god, I'm
yeah,
insane."
yeah,
But like really, someone who isn't an anxious person would be like, "That's hilarious. What if I did jump off this bridge? It'd be fucking funny."
yeah.
You know,
And
like it's
it's
not scary.
just that's just classic anxiety. That's like anxiety to the
Yeah,
bone. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
It's just big,
Um,
giant what ifs. But yeah, it's
yep.
funny that you say that, because I think a lot of people deal with those. I think, but I do. I think they're normal.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what is a panic attack? To give a brief summary, or what is panic disorder? Which is
Yeah,
kind of who this podcast is for, right? People who just
yeah, yeah. I think a panic attack for me, like a real one, the bad ones, the big ones, are this like the phrase always comes back as impending doom. That
yep,
doom that's just over your head. That like
yep,
something. It's weird. It's like you've mentioned to me. You've said like it feels like you're gonna die or something, but it's not even like I fear the dying. It's like I fear I just don't want the feeling to continue. I just want the feeling is what I fear, because it's so terrifying. You know what I mean?
yep,
It's like this like monster over your head. That's like
yep.
just the worst feeling ever.
And then obviously that those feelings are so terrifying, and that makes you fear your next one, obviously, right? Like you're going to be scared for your
Yes,
next one,
which
and
is called
that's
agoraphobia, which is when you don't go outside because you're
yes,
fearing the
yes,
panic attack.
yes. I was just going to say that that's what panic disorder is. It's basically you're panicking about your next panic attack, right?
Yeah,
Like you're like that's kind of panic disorder at the like you have your first one and then you fear your next one. And there's so many times where it's you sit down and you think like wow, I'm really like, there's nothing triggering a lot of my panic attacks or anxiety nowadays. The only thing that's triggering my anxiety
Is
and
the
panic
fear.
is the fear of your next
Yeah,
panic attack. And
yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
you sit down and you kind of take a step back and you take a breather and you think about it and you go, wow.
You like analyze everything around you, like
No, yeah, and
scan it.
no, and I just sit there and I go, wow, I'm really fearing my next panic attack. Like that's what it comes down to. And if you kind of just think about it, you're like, how stupid does that sound? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So
But it's real. It's real.
it's real. It's
I
very real.
as you were talking, I was like thinking about it and thinking how, as someone with anxiety, someone who's had panic attacks before, it's weird. Like it's hard to get uh fully 100% calm. And even when you are calm, that almost makes you more nervous because you're like, why am I calm? This isn't
Yeah.
normal. I'm never calm.
Yeah.
So our calm is different than maybe most people's, but it's because we've had the those feelings and they've come on so sudden that you're like your guard is up. You're like, when is this, like this could happen at
Yep.
any moment. And it's a scary thing, but it's less scary when you talk about it and you deal with it than it is if you were to shut it out and
Yep.
really fear it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
We'll get into all of it for sure. There's
acceptance
going to be
and all of that
plenty. There's
stuff.
going to be plenty of episodes about how we deal with panic attacks and what we do.
Max,
But
first
go.
episode, first panic attack.
Yeah.
Hit me. I want to hear about your first
First
panic
panic
attack.
attack.
Yep.
Yeah, I was. There was. I was. I don't know. I don't think this was the reason why, but I was in a
And
crowded
this is
place.
like the big one, right? Your
Well,
first
this is
one
the
will always
first.
be
I
your
don't. Yeah,
worst.
it was pretty big, but to be honest, I don't. There's only. It's weird. Like a few panic attacks stick out in my head, but
Okay.
this one sticks out because I remember it being the first time I felt those sensations. But it doesn't necessarily mean it was the worst at all because like I've had panic attacks that, I mean, literally, I was just like you'd think an earthquake. If you walked into the same room I was in, you would think there's an earthquake because of the
Yeah.
adrenaline that's coursing through the floorboards.
Yep.
So that's not it. It wasn't my worst, but I will say
First one was
that,
most confusing.
yeah, it was confusing and it was
Obviously.
obviously terrifying, but it just wasn't I won't say it's the strongest and the
Okay.
most terrifying, like, wow, this is whatever. So yeah, I rode my bike to the Cape May Mall. Those of you who are in New Jersey and
Shout out Cape May, dude.
yeah, you know. And I rode my bike and I got off the bike and I felt like I was like stoned. Like I felt like everything was kind of like in a circle, kind of like tunnel vision almost. And that scared me, but I was like, okay, well, this is a little weird. But then my body started feeling the symptoms, which is what, as I've described before, that's what I'm fearful of, is the body
So
losing
your
control.
first symptom, let's keep track of symptoms. Your first symptom was dizziness.
Yeah, it was like a dizziness and like a
Okay.
fog. Like, where the fuck even am I?
Okay.
Like a confusion, which that didn't really happen in following panic attacks, the confusion. So it may have been because I was like, they were so new.
Okay.
So I was confused and my legs felt like there was zero things in them, just like I was walking on fucking bones.
Yep.
And there was people all around me. Like it was a parade actually, which is terrible when you look back on it. But there was just like hundreds of people surrounding me, and I was walking through a crowd with a bike, sobbing, like just sobbing because I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like, and I've had anxiety my whole life. This wasn't run of the mill anxiety. This was something different. This was fear, and this was like terror.
This was new. This is very new.
It was new.
These
It
are
was
new feelings. Yeah.
And so I saw my mom there. She was there because my sister was in the parade, and she was like, "What's wrong?" Like blah blah blah. And I just like followed her around. She was like following the parade, and I was following her around like just sobbing. And like all the people I saw that knew me were just kind of like looking at me. They were like, "What's wrong with Max?" Like it was just very scary. And then I got home and I I was the most tired I've ever been, most drained I've ever been. I played hockey my whole life, and I've never been that tired or drained. It was like this shot of adrenaline. Once it's gone, you are cooked.
Okay.
So I was gone, and
So this is after
this was
the
after
actual
when I got home. It
the
slowly
okay.
just like it kind of just faded off. Like I said, it wasn't one of the worst panic attacks, but it was a panic attack for sure.
Okay, I'm back.
You're back.
Yep. I don't know why they do it, but they disconnect here and there.
All right,
Anyways,
well, let's hear. We're good. Here, let's hear your first panic attack. Sum it up. Give me the gist.
yeah, brief little explanation. Well, I've had a panic attack high, so that was my first one. But I'm not going to count that one because obviously it's like I had help.
I no longer
like,
smoke weed, by the way, and I'm sure you don't either, right?
No, I don't either. Nope.
Yeah, you can't.
It's been 3
Honestly,
years.
bad idea if you smoke weed with anxiety. It's just not a good idea.
Well, it helps some people, right?
Yeah, I just don't understand those people because if I smoke weed, I've smoked weed before, like, and been fine, but then it got to a point where no, doesn't work for me. All power to them. I wish I could smoke weed. It smells great. I love it, but
it smells great.
I love the smell of weed, especially raw weed.
Okay.
Oh my God, yeah, I could just shove it up my nostrils.
Wow. Okay. My first panic attack. I went out to South Dakota with my girlfriend at the time and 2 other couples, so it's 3 couples total. South Dakota. Don't ask me why we went to South Dakota. It was cool. It was fun. It was a fun trip. We went over to South Dakota, and the whole trip, I was worried about the car we took. The car we took was a car that's been in our family for a while, and I think my parents were pretty attached to that car as me and my siblings grew up in it. And so I think my parents were pretty attached to that car, and it was pretty old, and it just kind of sat around our house. And I remember I got the okay to take that to South Dakota. This is my senior year of high school. This is about 3 years ago. And I think kind of the whole trip, I was worried about this car. I was worried about it breaking down, upsetting my parents. This is how anxiety works, right? And I was worried about it. And like anytime like my friends would be driving like 5 over the speed limit, which is like totally fine in any other car, but it'd stress me out. It'd make me anxious. Anyways, trip went well. On our way back, let's see, what were my first symptoms? I started feeling really sick to my stomach. And I was like, oh, this is just, classic anxiety. We pulled over, we went to a gas station, cause I asked him to pull over, and, went into the bathroom, to try to take a shit because I was feeling sick. Right. And this is like slow. This is slowly building up. Right. Cause a lot of the panic attacks I have over the years, you don't have time. Cause now it's just like,
yeah, they happen quick. I know.
So I started feeling sick. Yeah, no, they happened very quick. Got back in the car, got back on the road. We're in the middle of Nebraska on our way home. And all of a sudden I get like super sick. And then that impending doom kind of comes on. And I get super anxious, and I tell the driver to pull over, one of my friends, and I'm like bawling my eyes out to this point. So, right, we've covered impending doom a little bit. We've covered crying. I'm feeling super sick. And then all of these emotions that I've just never felt before are starting to come on. And that's when the confusion hits. And then it's just like, everything's just like spiraling downhill so fast. I tell my friend to pull over, and I'm bawling my eyes out, and I'm on the side of this highway, and there's a ditch. And I kind of get out of the car and I walk down the ditch, and I'm crying, and I have no idea what's going on. And my friends were super supportive. And I'm trying to bet my best to like explain to them what's going on. But I couldn't. I had no clue what was going on. I felt like I was dying, which is something you'll hear a lot of people who experience panic attacks say, or their first panic attacks, like,
you feel like you're dying. You think you're dying. Going on.
Yep. And I wanted to call 911, but I don't think we ever did. Eventually I got back in the car, but I remember the ride home just being so miserable because that initial panic attack just shook me up so much that I felt very on edge and panicky and sick the whole ride home. It was a feeling that I can't explain right now.
Yep, I can't explain it either. I can't.
No, you can't explain it.
But it's so like I know it so well because it's that after panic feeling, or And it lasts, when you have panic attacks, it's actually like a feeling that when they first start, you feel very often because you are scared of the next time and you're like miserable about it because like that couldn't be the only time that this is going to happen. Like,
Yep.
And there's what I'll describe it as is just zero comfort. Zero. You are uncomfortable.
Yeah. There's no
like in your brain.
You can try to get comfortable. You can try to
right.
But your mind is telling you that
wrong.
nothing works, that nothing is going to work.
That's exactly how I explain it.
And obviously with this stuff does work. Like, and Max and I have learned like what works over the past 3 years. So
that's why we're here. That's what we want.
That's why we're here.
Yep. That's what we want to talk about on this podcast. There's going to be plenty of things that we talk about, but I know that, we got dark there for the last 5 minutes, but it's not that dark because look at us now. I mean, we're not, we're functioning. We're functional humans. We don't feel that way anymore. We have moments. I have moments. I can't speak for you, but I have.
Dude, some of the world's most renowned medical professionals that have dealt with panic attacks and anxiety have moments. So
yeah, of course. It's just the way it works, but it's something you deal with, and as you get better at it, that's when it starts to get less scary because you go, you
start to understand it. You start to understand what panic attacks truly are, why it happens, how it onsets, how to deal with them.
Like
and then you learn about acceptance. And
the physiology is actually pretty interesting because like, it's called fight or flight for a reason. When you're a caveman or whatever, tiger's coming at you. Okay, listen to this. Ready? I like this. This is great. I'm gonna say this. I don't think you know. I don't think you know this one
about fight or flight.
No, I know you know about fight or flight, but like this version. So I'm afraid of vomiting, like I said. So you get nauseous when fight or flight or panic attacks happen. That's a common symptom, very common. Why? Yep. Do you know why that is?
Do I know why you get sick?
Just off the top of your head, do you know why your stomach hurts?
I don't know. Like it's
tight. Okay, that's it. That's all I'm asking. If you know or not.
No, let me answer this. No, I don't know.
No. So what I read, and it makes sense, is
why do you get butterflies when you're nervous? Right? It's the same thing, but it's just
no.
thing. It's on. Okay.
The fight or flight thing is there's a tiger, right? You're a caveman, and there's a tiger. You can't fight the tiger likely because you'll get mauled. So what you can do is shit right there on the floor and shit. And the tiger will be disgusted and run away from your shit because you smell bad. That's a real thing that I've read, that you shit yourself and it makes people or animals scared of you because if you can't fight the animal, you just take a shit. So there you go. That's why your stomach hurts when you are panicky. That's what I tell myself is, I just my biology is telling me to take a dump right now because I'm in danger, but really I'm not in danger.
I'm so confused, dude.
No, dude, it's a real thing.
Okay, you send me articles after this. I've never heard of that. Obviously, I've never heard of that.
Fight or flight, you know what I mean? Like, oh my God, there's a tiger. I can't fight this tiger. Better
I'm gonna take a dump. Yeah.
Yes, better shit right here because if I claim my territory and I make my smell disgusting, this tiger's not going to want to come anywhere near me.
I don't know where you're going with this.
I swear to God, I've read it. I don't know if it's totally true, but it makes sense to me.
Okay.
And how about your what's the thing? Your palms sweat, so you
knees bent.
Fucking arms are heavy, spaghetti. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think but what I'm saying is the symptoms are there for a reason, and that is actually really comforting because it just means your biology is working correctly. Your body's doing the right thing.
You're yeah.
You're just misinterpreting. Yes.
Your body is doing what it's supposed to do, but half the time, obviously, you're not going to be panicking from something specific, right? You're going to be panicking
exactly. That's
anxious
why it's
for
scary.
No reason. So your body is working, but once you start to understand like how it's not working correctly because of your own mind, right?
It's unwarranted because we're not actually in danger. That's the point. We're not in danger.
You're not in danger 99% of the time you feel panicky,
well, even
right?
in the 1% that you would be in danger, it wouldn't be a panic attack. It would be a very normal reaction to the danger, and you'd.
Do you ever? Normal. Sometimes I'm thinking like like am I gonna have the same level? Like if a bear walked in here and tried to maul me right now, am I gonna have the same level of panic attack?
You want me to fucking let you in on a little fucking secret here?
Yeah.
You'd be cool and composed because you know the feeling. Because it's not, you're not
But I'm
afraid of
actually
it
in
because
danger.
There's a bear in there, dude. So you know that you should
You
be
don't. I
fearing
feel
the
like you don't
bear.
have time to have a panic attack.
Exactly.
Right?
That's what I'm saying.
You're
Like,
gonna
you're
panic
not
think. You're gonna
exactly.
Huh. Okay.
I've had real situations happen and I've reacted accordingly. And it's
So you're gonna have a worse panic attack about nothing than actually having something to have a panic attack about.
100%. 100%.
Yeah,
I think real danger, your instincts kick in and you just act. And panic attacks are misinterpreting danger because there's no real danger. You aren't in any danger. You're not going to die. You're not having a heart attack.
Okay.
And you misinterpret it. And then the cycle is, okay, fear. Whoa, that felt crazy. And then you fear the fear, and then it's a cycle and blah, 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 blah.
Gotcha.
You know?
Boom. That's the conclusion right there.
That's how it works. What was I going to say? I was going to say
works.
something about, we were talking about the biology and like how the symptoms that come on. I don't know.
I don't know, dude.
I went somewhere with it.
You lost me at taking a dump in front of an animal.
Yeah, I know.
I've just been zoned out.
It's true, dude.
In front of there.
It's true. It's true.
I'm kidding.
It's because like it makes sense, man. It makes some sense. Your mouth gets dry.
You
That's
are a smart dude. I believe you.
Yeah, it's something. But it's like, your mouth gets dry. What's that about? There's some fucking physiology or biology behind your.
Oh, with when you get panicky?
Yeah.
Oh, huh. Yeah, I don't know.
I think there's explanations, but what I'm saying is, that's what panic disorder is like misinterpreting danger, and
that's like what it is. Yeah. Not being you're reacting wrong to, first of all, your initial thoughts.
And it's like the looming thing. Do you have do you feel like the looming danger, or like not even danger? Do you feel like looming? Like, say like everything's cool, okay? Everything's cool.
Like cool, like shivering, or like cool, like that's dope,
no, like
man.
Cool, like everything's great. Like you're like you're with a girl,
everything's chill.
Yeah, everything's chill, everything's good. And there's just this like part of your brain. Do you have like the piece of your brain that's like, but you're not, buddy? Like you're not chill. And look, I will say it's not. I've
definitely had a lot of times where it's my brain tells me that like I can't be happy. Yeah. It's like everything's
me, it's
not
like
okay.
Not even, not okay. It's not so much happy as it is like relaxed. Like you can't totally put your guard down, dude, because something could happen.
Yeah,
it's like this
I know what you
weird,
mean.
just unsettlement. That's like, it's for me to have settlement like in that way, to be settled. I need to be fully engulfed in something and distracted. I've found that that's what my key to being relaxed is, like full blown distraction, or like hockey. Like when I'm playing hockey, I'm like in the zone.
Watching hockey.
When I'm watching hockey, I'm in the zone. Like there's things that bring me to that point. And I think it's super important to keep those things at like the forefront. Like, and it's not the same thing for everyone. Like I know a lot of people, like, what are the things that is there anything in your life where you are not even thinking about anxiety? Because I know every day we think about anxiety. Climbing.
Yeah, dude, every day. Yeah, hell yeah. Climbing is one of the more, like bouldering. I boulder almost
I have a picture
3 times a week.
I'm going to send it to you.
Okay. Bouldering, and honestly, just like, dude, working out is a time when I just don't think about anything else but yeah, dude. I don't. There's that's like therapy to me. Working out, bouldering. It has to do a lot. It has to do a lot with just fitness. Any active things for me is like,
I agree.
I'm not thinking about anything else.
Like moving
meditation has been something that I've started to get a grasp on. Which is really weird when I think about it, is because like that's when I'm sitting there with nothing. So why wouldn't I get anxious? But like once you meditate more, you start to get a grasp on how to clear your mind more and stuff.
Well, it comes back to those intrusive thoughts. Those thoughts come in, but
Yeah.
they are not
What do we
who
do with
you
those
are.
thoughts? Yep.
Yeah, it's not who you are or what you are. It's just thoughts. They're just thoughts. They're just thoughts.
Max, I'm
Just
gonna
let
be
them
honest.
flow
We could
by.
keep going. We could
Yeah,
definitely
we
keep
could, but
going. I think we're
we
breaking
got.
our cap right now.
What do you mean?
We're overboard. We're gonna keep sailing. We're just gonna be a 4-hour podcast, and then
I like that. I like the length we're at now.
no, we're good. Yeah, let's what do we expect? What do you expect going forward? We're gonna bring people on. We're gonna talk about specific things within the anxiety
Yeah,
realm.
I want to bring people on for sure. I want to talk to people who deal with similar things and different things. I want to talk to people. Dude, I would like to talk to people who are diagnosed schizophrenic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want to talk to everyone. I want to talk to people about their mental being and their mental health, and like I want to learn about it, and I'm genuinely interested. I'm not like it's not for any other reason other than I'm genuinely interested in how other people feel, and I just want to learn about all that stuff because I have my own host of issues, but they're manageable, and I love learning about other people, what they deal with and how they deal with it, and their hardest times. That's like super interesting to me. But yeah, we're definitely gonna get people on, is the point.
Perfect. Cool. Yeah, if you've made it this far, guys, thank you for listening, and I hope you got something out of this. I hope you had a laugh. I hope you enjoyed it just overall. So
we will be back 1 episode a week starting out. This is on Spotify, YouTube. We do have a YouTube version if you like that. If you'd rather watch us, we're all right, pretty handsome.
I feel like
might
I'm
be
pretty
worth
good.
your time. Yeah. So
I mean, honestly,
Attacking Panic podcast on YouTube. Subscribe to that, and iTunes, whatever else it's on.
Cool. All right, let's end it. Let's wrap it up. I'm a Minnesota boy. I could keep this going, dude. I could keep this going. All right. See you guys next week.
Peace.
Peace.